A coconut tree?
So, Kamala Harris, our vice president, is now running for the presidential nominee in the Democratic Party. I remember talking with someone a while back and kind of coming to the conclusion that if we ran Kamala Harris for the Democratic nominee, no one would really be excited because it would be the same thing as a Hillary Clinton presidency, where it's sure, there's more diversity in the presidential pick, but there's not as much, new policy. And boy, was I wrong with Kamala Harris. I looked through her policy, and I'm going to go over it really quickly and show you what she supports. But yeah, I'm actually kind of excited. I think that this might be a boost that America needs. And I think potentially, with a President Kamala Harris, there could be a spark for a new progressive few years in American history, which I'm personally excited for. So yeah, real quick, Kamala Harris served as an attorney general from 2010 to 2018, and then she served as a U.S. senator from 2018 to 2021, and then she was the U.S. vice president in 2021 to now 2024. She is now running for the presidential nominee as the Democrat in the ticket. And, as of right now, as of recording this, she doesn't have a vice presidential pick. There's been a lie circulating around that Kamala Harris had locked up 2,000 black men on drug charges.
Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violation and laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana.
When she was the attorney general, that's not true. Out of all of those men that she, had cases with, only 54 of these men actually faced prison time, and a little over 20 of them were black. But yeah, I'm just going to go over a few of her policies really quickly, and you guys can come to your own conclusion on if you like her or not. I personally really think that she could make a new status quo for the presidency. So I'm going to go through her policy right now. She's very pro-abortion rights. She's pro-affirmative action. She's against the death penalty. She supported the First Step Act, which was designed to open more job training and youth programs to reduce prison revisitation rates in addition to early release for nonviolent drug offenders. She supports the creation of a government funding program that could pay tuition and fees for students attending public colleges and universities for dependent students whose parents are making less than $125,000 a year. She supports gun regulation. She supports LGBT plus rights, or she has been vocal on decriminalizing sex work. She has voted to pass a bill that allows all registered voters to vote by mail. She's been outwardly outspoken that she would have opposed NAFTA. So if you don't know what NAFTA is essentially, it's called the North American Trade Agreement. I think that's close to what it stands for. I don't have it on the top of my head, but it brought a lot of American manufacturing down to Mexico. Because the people in Mexico were willing to work for a little bit cheaper. And then because of that, a lot more companies started to outsource their production to other countries like China, Vietnam, Thailand. So it killed a lot of production in America, especially cities like Cleveland, Detroit, just very heavy production cities. And she believed that America can do better for their workers when she said that. She is also for the Green New Deal, which I think America honestly needs to get with the times and start developing some green infrastructure in the future. And she vowed to co-sponsor Bernie Sanders' Medicare for All bill. So honestly, I think we have a really exciting presidential candidate. We have not seen a presidential candidate this progressive in a while, and on top of that, a lot of black women are very excited. There was a phone call for raising money, and I think the cap was about 1,000 people in there. And within the first few hours, they had to contact the Zoom CEO because the servers were overflooded. People were joining too quickly, and I think eventually they got to 40,000 people in a Zoom call, which is just unbelievable. That's unheard of. And on top of that, within her first 36 hours as a presidential candidate, she's raised about $100 million. There's definitely some excitement behind this campaign. And, if you have a problem with her stance on Israel-Palestine, she hasn't necessarily had a response yet. From what we know, she's a progressive candidate. She is not attending Netanyahu's speech. And, there's leeway there. I think that she is going to have to heavily rely on the Gen Z base to determine what she wants to get done in her presidency. And, without throwing your hands up in the air and just being frustrated because someone isn't vehemently pro ceasefire, let's get what we can here. This could be a very transformative candidate, not only for, American foreign policy, but for American domestic policy. These are some policies that Americans have been kind of talking about as some just never going to be done plan for years. So I don't know. I think this could be a lot. I think this could be the jump that American progressives need to really get the ball rolling, because ever since MAGA, it's kind of been hard to do anything progressive. But I really do see opportunity with Vice President Harris here, and I think that there's opportunities to be made, and I think that she can really change the status quo as the president. She can get people talking about Medicare for all. She can get people talking about the Green New Deal. She can get people talking about gun legislation or anti-death penalty legislation, or pro-abortion legislation. I think that there's plenty of things that can be done in our vice president's future potential presidency. I think it would be very good, very, very good for our country, because with rising rates of inequality in this country, it is necessary that we take steps to protect the individual worker. So yeah, that's my video. I really am excited for this candidate. I think that, it's kind of funny because Trump might honestly lose the same way that he won, which is, memeability of a candidate, overspending on just ads, not showing up to as many rallies as your opponent. These were all flaws Hillary had in 2016 that Trump is now also suffering from, which is pretty interesting to watch, I gotta say. But yeah, please subscribe, please like if you learned anything from this video at all. I mean, I'd really appreciate it. So yeah, thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye.